Oh, what up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, creating legendary figures in your story. Now, this is something that I've always had like in the back of my mind. Every time when I draw up or like write a script for my series, I always think of, yo, if this was an actual person in the world, like how would people gas him up, or how would people depict him or she, like how would they be like, yo, when we talk about this guy, he's the real deal. So in this time lapse, I'm gonna be showing y'all a mini like sketch of like, I don't remember his name, bro. I think it was Doll. Yeah, Doll, my guy. Yeah. I named him like as like a legend slayer. That's what his name, like a legend slayer or guardian slayer. I don't remember which one I picked, but yeah, that one. So Doll is like a mix between a human and a troll giant, or forest giant, between those races. I was really into D&D for the longest time, so I know quite a lot of the lore, but like I mixed them in. So Doll is like a mix between those races, a human and a forest giant. Yeah, I remember it right now. So he was naturally gifted with like a physically fit like physique, and like he's quite tall, taller than most humans, so he had that going for him. But amongst his kind, he was kind of like seen as the weakest because he wasn't as tall as them and wasn't as strong as them. But he had one thing going for him, and that is a longer lifespan than all of the other giants in there, right? So he lived for quite a long as time. So he's also like part of a team called I don't remember what they called it, but I think it was like the Blue Roses or something. Let me check right quick. Yeah, I just checked, and yeah, I wrote him as Doll, the Guardian Slayer, the last member of the Blue Dawn, one of its founding members, known far and wide for his formidable battle prowess and strategies. Doll is a member of the Wood Giants. Okay, I got that right. And was tasked with bringing balance in the great forest of Azura. And oftentimes it comes down to slaying myths and occasionally counting down trees, because obviously he wields an axe. So I wanted that to be like one of his, hobbies, because Wood Giants are like, tasked with like keeping or landscaping around forest. The Azula forest is like this great forest that's just filled with mystical creatures and everything. So their task in that is to just keep everything in balance, and like obviously not to hinder like mother nature. Like if there's a territorial battle between like I wonder I don't remember what they're called, but there's this mix of bear and owl, that type of creature, and let's say maybe a dragon. Obviously that one, the word like whatever bear would lose. So keep going to that. So with him being like a member of the Blue Dawn when it was founded, he was like the founding members. It's him and a select few others, like 5 in total. So I wanted them to be like the top dogs in that guild. So he was tasked with like taking care of the juniors of the Blue Dawn, which are Flint and this girl. Let me see. I named her Mimi. Yeah, the old name for her was Coco, but so Mimi is like the second member of Blue Dawn and also the big sis of the group. So she usually is like the calm and collected type, because Doll is the broody type who like silent partner. He just talks when he needs to, but most of the time he just grunts or just acts on how to respond. So yeah, that's another one. And obviously Flint is the other like hard-headed like character, similar to like Bakugo and what would I say, bro? Let's say maybe Vegeta from Dragon Balls, right? Like those type of characters who are all full of themselves because they have that innate talent. So they obviously think like everything that they do, they will win, and nobody's better than them. And obviously most times that's true, but sometimes, hey, they get the A double fives whooped, and they kind of go at it with a stubborn mind. So yeah, that's like something that I usually think of like when world building. And then in terms of other characters, like there's a lot, bro. There's a lot. Let me check out right here that I actually thought of. But like, oh, in terms of like these characters are part of like Dungeon Tamer, which is like my secondary series that I want to make physical sometime soon. So yeah, there's another characters that are just like super important there, which was like Rose Fisher, who's like, you know, a part of like the main character in Dungeon Tamer is Ray Fisher, and then you have her mom and her dad. The mom is obviously Rose, and then the dad, I think I named him Luke. Yeah, Luke. Yeah, yeah. So Luke is like one of the founding members of the Dawn. So he's been around for a long time. So we don't know which race he is, but he's like one of the long living races. Whilst Rose is just a normal human who's like from a family of blacksmiths who are like well renowned, and also, you know, like they passed on their teachings from time to time. But she, on the other hand, once she learned what was needed from their family, like there's a royal decree that her family, like they have to stay in that particular kingdom, rule over it, and like, you know, like not rule over it, but like be under the ruler, like make weapons for that country, and that's it, right? So she found that out and skipped town, fell in love with Luke, they had a child, and that's it. So in her like way, she's like a pirate slash blacksmith, so, you know, like they don't stick in one place overall. But eventually, once they had the kid, they had to choose a place, and they chose Cocoa Village, which Cocoa Village is like southwest of Azure Forest, so it's pretty close, but far enough that some of the inhabitants over there didn't know each other as well. So the funny thing is that Rose actually met up with Doll, and Doll asked her, I mean, to create like an axe for him, and that's what he's wielding in this illustration that I'm drawing right now. So yeah, that's like another mix of things. Like you take a singular character and add them to us, because like you won't know as you're reading with, no man, I think these people know each other. Even Ray as the main character won't know with, yo, Doll is like a friend of my mom's, and it's something that they won't be saying in that chapter specifically. So yeah, that's another thing. Like try to connect things in a way that when they're actually revealed, the reader will be like, yo, and I saw this in chapter 1, I saw this in chapter 20, you know, and connect everything into that. So yeah, that's how you create a living legend in your world. You know, just make them feel like a normal person that you know, instance, because it happens like in real life. You meet up with this person, you all gel, okay, it's fine, and then like you go to maybe a party, and then hey, the dude that you were talking with is actually there, you know, and he knows your friend, and you know, like it's a small world, but you would think that I now maybe we don't know each other. So yeah, just keep it grounded and expand it as best as you can. You know, just connect the lines, and you know, make people know each other in that way. So yeah, I hope that helps when you're world building and trying to create like a legend. And yeah, I've been loving like the flow of creating videos these past few days and weeks. So yeah, if you all love the content and want more, obviously leave a comment on what other topics you want me to tackle, and obviously like click the bell icon and to be notified with more vids when I upload, and leave a like if you liked or got any tips from this. And yeah, check out the playlist and everything like that. And if you want daily updates on me and what I'm doing, check out my IG handle is Sile Atelier. So yeah, check that out, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Sile, signing out.